We're going to move the f35b from Polar Vortex 4.33 to Somalia 4.34, and the first thing I would do for that is get in a copied jet in the editor to turn into a F-35, and we will, it can be any jet really, but I'm going to do the FCK, add aircraft copy, yes, rename that copy to F-35B and save. Go to units, and we will change flights and squadrons, the same jet, the FCK, to, we'll make a copy of it and change it to F-35B. Okay, and I'll take this number sign off, and what we do is take that number sign off and change all the FCK in here. Go to edit element, oops, and change it to the F-35B we just made, and do it from 0 to 15 all that same way. And I'm going to pause it while I do that. Okay, all of these are F-35B 0 through 15, and the pound sign is off of that fighter. That's the only changes. I'll deal with all this later. And just hit save, and I would exit out and load it again, and I would do the same thing to squadrons as we just did to flights. I'll find the FCK, add unit copy, and the same thing, take off the pound sign and change 0 through 15 to edit element, F-35B, and OK, and I'm going to pause it. OK, the squadron got the pound sign off of the fighter, and 0 through 15 is F-35B. Hit save and exit and open it again, and this time we'll look at the class table, and let's see here. Here we are with the F-35B set up with everything, not in dog. We got the main thing for F-35B here, and this 68 specific number is for the FCK. So we will go and see what the last specific, it looks like the FCK was the last jet added, so we can easily change ours to 69, and that will be the new specific for the F-35B. And it still shows 68 here, but if you go to features and back to all, or if you just close it and open it again, it will say the correct type. Let's see. Okay, come on, 69. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for mission. For the Falcon editor right now, and we'll just exit out of there. Now we're going to get the flight model and art stuff figured out for the F-35B. We'll just open Polar Vortex. Let's see. And Somalia. And find the flight model for F-35B. Okay, copy those two and put them in here. They're already in there. I forgot. Okay, so I had done that earlier. That's the reason they're like that. Anyways, go to AC data. Okay. AC types, I mean, and change the top number to 178 or whatever, one higher than it currently is, and put F35. What was it? Just F35b. Yeah. F35b and save. And that's the sim folders. Okay, now we'll go to Polar Vortex Art main and go to Somalia Art main, and we will go to units, and we'll copy the text string from Polar Vortex and go to units in Somalia and add it in. It's already there, but it wouldn't be. Okay, so that's that's okay. Okay, so now we go to text IDs. Save. Text IDs from Polar Vortex. F35b is 590. And go to text IDs of Somalia. And you can make it 589 or leave it as 590, but you'll have spaces there. But 590 is fine because it's not used. But I'm just going to leave it 590 for now. But if you change it to 589, you know you just have to change it everywhere in a few other files. But I'm just going to leave it at 590. File, save as. And okay, Control F, 590. Oops. Yeah, you know there's no other 590s in this text document. Okay, so that's the art. Now we have to go to the TE planes and valid AC in the campaign folder. So let me pause it for a second. Okay, to mess with the AC type, the TE planes and valid AC, I was going to look at the editor, and obviously it doesn't work right now because I've got 178 at the top instead of 177, so that's a mess up on my part. I didn't foresee, so I'll just save it as 177 for now and look at the editor and it will work. So I need to go to class table, specific, find my 69 specific, which is the F35b, and I will open airplane and we'll see this 1769, and that's going to be pertinent when I look into, okay, are we in Somalia here? Yeah. We will go to campaign, TE planes, and we will find the FCK Okay, so this is the line we're going to copy exactly as if we're going to change this to f35b and change that 68 to 69. Well, we'll also change this number and this number, but we'll go ahead and copy this. $69. Okay. Alright, let's see here. What can we change it to? Okay, this is the dogfight number, and it's supposed to be different than every other number, so I just found a number that was different than that. And let's see, this 500 here, oh, I forget. Okay, that's the text ID. So we just look back at what our text ID was, 590. So we change this to 590. And this 1065 is probably going to look a lot like an F16 because it's for the FCK1. This is the icons, so let's find the F22 and change it to that one, because at least the F35 looks a little bit more like an F22 than an F16. Okay, and we'll change this text here so we'll know this is for the F35B. But we will also change the icons later on in Falcon Editor. So that is the TE planes finished, and I think it's all good. And we'll go to valid AC. Okay. Alright, is editor closed? No, something. Alright, oops. Okay, we closed that. And we go to the same F35B, except we look in the flight. No, I think it's the squadron. Yeah. Okay. So this is the number we're looking at, 39, specific 69. Okay. Okay, we see this 39 specific 68. We know that is for the FCK. We'll just copy that, add a line here, and change the 68 to 69, and change this one to 193. Okay. Alright, it's saved. Different new setup here. Okay, and we will exit this because we don't need it right now. Okay, I saved a file as text instead of just saving the file earlier. I saved art main text IDs. I saved this as a text, and so it didn't stick. Anyways, back to I fixed it, and now we have our f35b slot, and we can move it up by the F22 later, but anyways, there it is. It's going to be the FCK1, so we'll change all this in the Falcon editor, but now we've got a slot to replace the model with, and that's what we're going to do now. This is where I would make a backup of the Somalia database, just in case. I already got one. Nope. Yeah, okay. This is a new backup. That's an old backup. Okay. And now we make a folder called Somalia and a folder called NTO, and I'm going to do the user interface version to extract the polar vortex from 4.33. Okay. And get this address. And that will take a while. This is one way to do it. I'm just doing it several different ways here. Okay, it successfully extracted the database, and we will look in here. I've already put these in from 4.34, and this is what just got extracted. And one important thing to notice is there is a BMP file in here with the last texture number in the objects folder. So this is automatically created when you use the interface, the user interface, like I did. So it is not automatically created when you use the command window. So we'll copy this and put it right here so we can use it and just change the last number when we are using the command lines instead of the user interface. So we'll always have one that it's just blank, so we can just change the numbers, or you can just make one yourself. I don't remember if the dimensions are important, but let's see, open with paint to show the dimensions. Okay, I don't know, let's see see it in Photoshop. Okay, it's just totally blank, 1 pixel by 1 pixel, and it works. Anyways, we'll save this one for future work, but if you don't have one, you can just make one. And to extract the Somalia database, we're going to use the command line in Tools, 3D Database Builder. We copy these two, and we know we'll be building it later, so we'll put it in our work folders. It's already there, but you paste it in your work folder and your other work folder, and the one we're going to extract from, let's see, and it's already there as well, but you would put it there, and we will go shift on objects, shift right click, open command window, 3D database, builder with underscore, executable, extract. And it will do it right into the objects folder. It will make 3 folders that look like this in the objects folder. Okay, it's extracted into the objects folder. So we're done with that command line, and you will see the texture folder it generated has no blank one in it. You just need to remember that for now. We'll cut these out of there, put them in our work folder, and paste. Now our job is to find out what to get out of Polar Vortex, and you can use Load Editor to do that. Okay, so we got parent 2703. Okay, and we look up the cockpit 2703, and we look at what parents are required in here. Okay, in this case we're using the F22 pit, so we already have all this in my Somalia database, but you would want to copy all of these parents and all of the corresponding textures for it, but we only have to do the wings model 3319. Okay, so we'll make a new folder 3319 and a new folder for 2703, and this is where we're going to get the textures that we need and make sure the numbers don't conflict with the other database for the textures. Okay, so we go in here and okay, what do we got? View mode. Oh, I don't have that set up yet. Okay, it should be real quick to set up. No, exit. Okay, I had to find these DLL files to make my load editor show the textures in Oglod. Okay, where were we? We're getting the textures for the f35b from NTO Polar Vortex 4.33. Okay, 2703. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're gonna need 1809, 1810, 1190. Well, what we'll do is we'll look at these and let's see, close this. We'll look in Somalia, textures. Oh man. I usually have these set up where I can view them as well. Stand by. Okay, I usually use paint.net, but on this PC I don't have the right net framework, so I'm just going to use this old Adobe Photoshop with some DDS plugins, but we're just checking numbers anyway. We're not doing any adjustments. So we just look for, this is in Somalia, 4.34, and this is what we're going to export from Polar Vortex 4.33, and we got 1809. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to have to see what this is. Looks like an army guy's coat and stuff, so we're going to have to change the number on that, but we're going to export this to 2703. And we will call it 1809 for now. And we will export 1810. Looks like it's going to need a name change as well. More army guys. Okay. But we'll export it. 1810. Alright, 1190. Okay, there is no 1190, so we don't need to rename that one. We'll just export that texture. $11.90. Okay. Okay, make sure we're in the right place, and I put it in there. So since we don't have to rename it, I went ahead and put 1190 in there so I don't lose track. Okay. Okay, so 1820. There is no 1820, so we don't have to worry about renaming that. We will export that. 1820. Cut. paste. Okay, so we've only got the ones we got to rename in here, and let's see, 164. Okay, 164 is the same. I'll bet you this one is too. 165. Yep. 166. Yep. 5103. Yep. 1603. Okay, so we only have two textures we have to rename, and that is 1809 and 1810. And we already put this one and this one in the objects folder, so we don't have to worry about that. But what we do have to worry about, and we can change it right here if we want. Let's see, that way we don't have to change it later. Okay, what is the last number here? 9012. So we'll change this to 9013 and 9014. And in here we can change the parent number to, and the load number to call for those. Let's go to, let's see what these others look like. Okay, I don't think they use real textures. Okay. We'll edit this 7681. And we will, instead of calling for 1809 and 1810, we will have it call for 9013 and 9014. Oh, forgot. We'll do that later in the other one. No, instead of doing it that way, we'll just we'll change it in 4.33 and just so it will all be part of the parent. That way we don't have to do the whole make 4.34 load editor work. Okay, we'll just copy these, go into 4.33, load vortex, objects, paste. Now we got those two extra ones in there, and we will go to load editor, polar vortex, and we will go to utilities, action, append, replace textures. Okay, 4.33 or vortex objects. Okay. So now we will go back into the F35, change what the load numbers are asking, what textures the load numbers are asking for, and wrap it all up in a parent folder. Okay, f35b. Okay, edit mode. We'll change 1809 into, what was it, 9013 and 9014. Accept, save. And it's still the same skins, we just changed the numbers. Okay, let's look at the lower end LODs. They don't have textures, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright, so we got all the right textures in here, almost. Let's see. Okay, the textures are set up for the F35 so far. We still got to do the wing view, but we're not there yet. One thing I want to point out is in load editor, what we were just looking at, the smaller textures for the F35B, they're called for separately in the parent. So what we got to do is we go to our extracted polar vortex, we go to parents, we find 2703, which is the parent for the F35B. .2703, and we read this, and we got the slot data and everything. Here we go. This is where we add this LOD model, and this is the main model, and these are all the secondary little models. So what we need to do is switch it again. Copy. We need to get LOD. Oops. See what I did there? I changed this into that, and so what we need to do is turn 252 into model underscore 1.lod. So to do that, we go into here and we find 252. Okay, copy. I should have left that open. So many numbers. Okay. 2703. Paste it in here, and we change it to model underscore 1 dot lod. We'll leave it open that time, and we do the same thing with. Oh, see, I would delete this. I'm not going to leave it there with the hashtag on it. Okay. 253, same thing, and same thing with 254 and the rest. But I won't record myself doing that whole thing. So you can see what I did right here. I took the LODs out of the log file and put them in the parent folder. Well, I didn't take them, I copied them. And so now everything's contained in the parent folder. And I changed the add LODs that reached into the log file folder, and so everything's within the parent folder. So instead of going outside looking for those, it will grab them right from inside the parent folder. So I just delete the ones that I changed and save it. And now this 2703 is ready to go to the other database. Somalia parents. And now we have to make sure 2703 isn't used. It is. We have to change the parent number. Okay, it's not used, so we will replace this 2703 with the new one that has our F35 stuff in it. Now we're going to check out the wing view. Alright, I made a mistake earlier when I changed things with load editor in Falcon 4.33 polar vortex, because it wasn't extracted yet. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to check the main thing. What we got to do is delete these and extract them again, and then put the 2703 over there and the 3319 over there. But the thing is, I changed them in the polar vortex database, and it's already been extracted. So that was kind of stupid of me, but it happens. Anyways, I'm gonna check the pit. I mean the pit view, the wing view. Let's see. Load edit. Polar vortex. Okay. Okay, except we're going to check parent 3319, and that's the pit view, and we will go to, it looks like the same textures, so we don't need any texture changes in here, except it's still calling. Now it's okay, it's even calling for the right ones. Let's go in there and make sure. Okay, it's not. What is this? Yeah, we need to change that. 9013. And 9014. Okay, and the rest are okay. So now that it's set, okay, let's look at that again. Okay, we are looking at 3319. Okay, it's stuck. And we'll just exit that, and we will delete this. Extract polar vortex again, and extract. Okay, now that polar vortex is extracted again, first thing we'll do is take care of the 2703. We'll put the adjusted LOD files in there. Okay, and that would be this one. This LOD file will call for the correct textures. Okay, and now we're going to look at 3319. There isn't one, so we'll just straight copy it. It will make a bunch of unused parents, which might not be so good. You could renumber it if you want to and call it 3263, but I'm just going to make some unused parents. Okay, 3319. Okay. And it's only it's got all the same slot data, but it's only asking for one model, so it's good. And that means we have the F35 model and the wing view model in here, and we're already using the F22 pit, so we'll go look into Somalia art, cockpit art, and we will look at, yeah, we'll be using these same numbers for the F35. Yeah, okay. So we go into Somalia, polar vortex, 4.33, 2703 is the designation for the F35. Okay, and we'll look at this for a minute. Okay, the cockpit model is 3258. Okay, looks like, yeah, these parents are all higher than the last one in default KTO, so I didn't change them for the F22, so I won't change them for the F35, but depending on what you're doing, you would need to copy these parents out and do the same thing I just did for the wing view and the main model. All these parents and their textures need to be in the database you're moving them to, but they're already here for the F22, so we're fine. So just a straight copy of the F22 cockpit is all we need here. So I'm pretty sure we're ready to just zip up the Somalia database for now. Except we need this in here. And we need to put it as the last number. And if I remember correctly, it was going to be 9014, but I'm just going to check. So now I'm going to look at NTO for a second, make sure about something here. Okay. It was the last number, not the one after it, so it is the exact last number. So yeah, it needs to be 9014. So we've got 9014, we've got the new parents, we didn't adjust this, and we just go to shift, since we have these in here from the main tools in Falcon 4.34, shift, right click, 3D database underscore builder .exe build. And this is finished. It builds it a lot faster than it unbuilds it. We copy these, and this is where we made a backup earlier, so we don't have to worry about, we just go ahead and replace. And we look I'm not sure, but since we just adjusted the database, I'm just going to restart it twice. Now see, it still looks like a F-16. We can change that later on. We'll change that in the Falcon edit later. And we forgot one step. Okay. What parent is this calling for? Okay, we'll do this by specific. We'll look, we copied this from the FCK, which was 68, and okay, FCK f35b. Okay, go to the airplane in this class table and change 772 to 2703 and save. Okay, and we'll go to vehicles, aircraft name, and we've got it in, but all the weapons, look, all the weapons and stuff are still set for FCK. So what you got to do is make, you go into Nordic and you check, you're gonna have to make all these that don't exist the same exact way they are in the database you're getting it from, and you can do that in weapons, hard points. I'm going to try something and advise on that after I get done, but anyways, the f35b is in there, and what you need to do is get the flight model going, and what we can do right now for sure is get the FM to work and the icon to show up in the 3D screen to show that not an F-16.